Hello everyone, welcome back to More Than Plastic. In today's video, I'm going to be showing a bunch of new figures that I've gotten in the past 1 or 2 months. I've been gone from YouTube for about that long. Sorry about that. I don't know if you've noticed, but hello, I'm back. So I figured I'd take this opportunity to kind of show you guys what I've been up to, what figures I've gotten in the past month or two. And one other thing before we get into it, I got some McFarlane figures, as you can probably see in the intro of this video. There's definitely some McFarlane figures there, and if you have been a fan of my channel and have watched my collection tour videos, you know that I usually have a lot to say about McFarlane, and I haven't always been the biggest fan. But watch this video and maybe you'll see that I changed my mind a little bit and see what I have to say about those figures. It'll be fun. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's take a look at the Fantastic Four figures first. So here we have Invisible Woman. She looks pretty good. I hear people say that they don't really like the head sculpt I've seen online. I think it's pretty good. I don't have a problem with it. It's way better than the one that released a couple years ago. That one just looks a little weird. That was before the face printing tech was better and all that. So this is definitely a good Sue. I like this effect right here. That's nice. And of course you get the other set of hands as well, just like how you always do with Marvel Legends. But no, definitely a cool figure. I'm glad to have this one. Then next up we have her brother, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. This one's pretty cool too. I actually like the lines on this one. I think that's really classic to the character and definitely pretty retro, because this wave of the figures is definitely their original looks. Obviously you could tell by the Fantastic Four suits that they're very retro looking. So I think that's cool. I like that. Yeah, this is definitely a nice figure. Let me put these little effects. I think these are pretty cool too. I like the gradient of the orange to red. That looks pretty nice. Got those on here. I love his relationship with the Thing, so I like to pose them up together. It's pretty funny. Speaking of the Thing, I think he's really, really awesome looking. Come on, you can't go wrong with a cool, big rock character guy looking person like this. It's awesome. I actually had a Thing toy when I was younger, and I love that figure. I'll try to put a picture of it if I could find it. I'm not sure if I will be able to find it, but I think I still have it somewhere in my garage or something. So obviously I get nostalgia when I see this figure, but no, it's very, very cool. And this is the other head sculpt, which definitely not going to display him with this one because it looks like he forgot to put his dentures in. Definitely a weird one there. But other than that, this figure is so cool, and him with Johnny, that's gonna look great. I actually like to pose him where I have. You can't really see it because I don't have enough room, but I like putting him on his shoulder like this because I don't have an extra flight stand for Johnny, and I like to just put him there because Johnny likes to annoy the Thing, so it's just funny to have them together. Next up, last Fantastic Four member, we have Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. And very interesting, I like the accessories that you get with him, so I'll show you right here. You pop these out, and it does look a little bit concerning, that's pretty scary if I saw this on the street, but don't worry because you put this lab coat accessory on, like this, and then you add the arms back in, and then you get the lab coat version of him, which I think is pretty cool because that's obviously, one of his main looks for his character. So that's definitely a good look for Reed. Pretty good figure. The body it's on it works, it works for the character. He doesn't need super crazy articulation, but it's pretty cool. I do like the arm effects though that come with the other figure. I'll put that here. I don't really love these weird spaghetti frilly looking hands, so that's my one kind of gripe with this figure. But other than that, it's pretty cool actually. But I do think the Reed from the other thing definitely is a little bit of a better figure. So yeah, there we go. That looks pretty cool. So I'm excited to set them up in my collection, and I'm glad to have this whole set. So that's all the Fantastic Four members, but then we have one of the coolest villains of all time, Dr. Doom. And this figure is really, really cool. This is actually not from the wave that I just showed of the Fantastic Four, that retro line, because that other Dr. Doom, it was this one. He has more of a brighter green, which I didn't really love. This one is from that 3-pack with Taskmaster and the Iron Patriot Norman Osborn, the Amazon 3-pack exclusive. But this one is so cool because, as you can see, he's got the soft goods cape, which I'm not a person who has to have soft goods. There's some collectors out there who will only get the Mafex versions and stuff like that because they want the soft goods. I'm not super crazy, I need it, but I think for this figure, it definitely amplifies it. Like, it looks really freaking cool. And just the armor, like, look at his legs. It looks like pretty realistic. And then this whole like little cloak thing right here, his little holster for his gun, the belt, everything looks so great. And like the way the head moves, really, really love this figure. And you get, of course, you know, the opposite hands of the accessories, and then you also get the I think, is this Doombot? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this like one of his Doombot heads? Just like swap it. I'm not 100% sure. But obviously I'm going to just display it like this because that is freaking awesome. And yeah, he looks really cool with the Fantastic Four. He definitely ties the group together. Like when you see them all posed together, it looks really, really cool. So very happy to have this one. Definitely a 10 out of 10 figure. Alright, so now let's talk about McFarlane Toys. So who should I start with? Let's see. Okay, we'll do Superman. So here is the Superman figure. These are like so big I can't even like get them into frame. That's why I have them in this pose. Okay, so McFarlane, let's talk about it now. McFarlane Toys has definitely stepped up their game in the past, I'd say, year, honestly, because if you know, they used to be pretty rough, like especially the figures from like, I want to say like 2021, 2022, kind of like around the time that the Batman movie was coming out. Those figures like just could not sell for anything. And that whole like kind of era of McFarlane, definitely not the best time. That's when they had a lot of problems with like quality control, and I'm sure you guys know, I'm sure you guys have seen the videos about it. So I've been a little bit reluctant to honestly buy McFarlane Toys for a while. Like I do have, I'll put a clip of it here. I have my small DC Multiverse collection. It's mostly movie figures from the DC EU. And after kind of looking at those figures more, I kind of realized that they're kind of just dead space on my shelf. Like, I look at that DC shelf and I just don't really, like, feel any joy from it. Like, when I look at my other shelves, I'm like, oh my god, I love these figures. But when I see those, I'm just not 100% happy with them. So then I start to think, I'm like, I think I just want the comic versions of them. So that's what I started to pick up. Like, I'll just show a couple of them now. So I got some comic ones. But I was a little bit like reluctant to buy those, honestly, because I'm like, oh, I don't know about McFarlane. Like, I know that they've had issues, like quality issues in the past and stuff like that, so I didn't really want to invest in them, and I'm not like honestly too fond of them as like a company, to be completely honest. But I have been looking at these figures recently, and they've been looking a lot better than what I've seen in the past. So I caved and I started buying some. So this is where we're at now. So I'm about to show you just some of these figures, but that's kind of my story about McFarlane and how I feel and my current like thoughts on that. So I will kind of tell you though some of my gripes with these figures because they're not perfect by any means. So first off, let's just start with Superman. I've been kind of showing him off here this whole time as I've been talking. But yeah, this Superman figure, first of all, this is the one with the abnormally large hands. Like, hold on, let me get one. Actually, I'll just put this fist up right to his face. So this is his head. Like, what? Why is it the size of his entire face? Like, that's insane. But anyway, I could look past that. And I have other figures that I could actually swap the hands with, so that's okay. But hey, I will say, with this figure, you do get 3 sets of hands, so like 6 total. But that's great, because McFarlane definitely stepped up with that, because they used to give no accessories, like absolutely nothing. So that's definitely good. I'm glad to see that. And you'll see with actually a lot of these figures that there's some pretty good accessories. So I'll give them that. I would say that McFarlane, to me, is more so about looks. The articulation is not the greatest, definitely got better, but it's definitely the looks. Like, this figure actually looks really great. The paint looks great, the molding and sculpting and the design. Very, very good figure. I'm happy with that. The cape kind of looks like a fruit roll-up, like, am I wrong? So, yeah, no, this figure's cool. I like it. The head's even better, because I used to have problems with heads. I'm sure I'm inserting pictures already throughout this whole video, just to compare it. So that's actually, like, really good to see. I'm glad that they're stepping their game up. So, yeah, with this figure, I actually don't have too many problems with it. So, honestly, I'd give this one a pretty good rating. But some of the others I do definitely have a little bit more issues with. But this one's definitely good. I'd pick this one up. So that's Superman. Let's move on to a different one. All right, let's do Green Lantern next. I'll get the talk about this one out of the way. So this figure's really, really cool looking. I actually really like the look of this. These are a little hard to get in frame because they're so tall. Very, very good look. It's very classic. I'm a fan of that. I will say though, I have a couple issues with this figure. For one, these like shoulder, they're not joints, like the caps, I guess you could say. I don't know exactly what they're called. They're a little irritating. Like when you move it around, they kind of just like separate and get out of place. But like once you find a pose that you like him in, you could just kind of shift it and it covers it. So it's not too big of a deal, but just something I did notice. Another thing, and actually, well, first of all, another figure has this issue too, which I'll talk about later. But another kind of like issue with this figure, it's more so a cosmetic thing. And this is a reason I was turned off to McFarlane Toys for the longest time. Why is he wearing a diaper? I can't like get past that or unsee it. Like, at least for Superman, you could see here, it makes sense. Like, it doesn't look like he's wearing a diaper because he does have the trunks on, so it passes. For Batman, he's wearing trunks. You don't notice it. But sorry if I just ruined this figure for you, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like, I just don't like that look. Like, Marvel Legends doesn't do that. Like, their figures don't have that, like, diaper. The legs just go right into the torso, and you don't see it. It's seamless. So, that's my one other complaint with this figure. Other than that, really nice. The costume design's great. The paint app's really good. The accessories are great. Here's, you get these power effects with it. You get 2 of these. There you go. Something like that. Sorry, I'm used to reviewing and looking at Marvel Legends here, so I normally have more space, but these are just ginormous that I can't even pose without hitting the table. So, yeah, there you can see those effects. You get 2 of them as well. And, of course, you have an extra set of hands as well. So, yeah, I like this figure. It's definitely, like, a retro classic, like Green Lantern. Then we'll do Batman. So, he's definitely really cool looking. I like this design. This is more classic and, like, retro. Obviously, you can kind of see the Justice League I'm building up is definitely, like, more of their classic suits. In the future, I might pick up, like, the Hush Batman, because he's a little bit more modern. And he'll go with, like, my Bat family, because the Bat family is, like, my other favorite part of the DC universe. So I kind of wanted to, like, because I'll just show him now. He doesn't really look too great with Nightwing, in my opinion. So as an action figure, and, you know, paint apps and all that, it looks pretty nice. I'm actually really happy with this one. My one complaint with this figure is the ball joint wrists, because he looks really cool holding the grapple gun like this. Like, no problem there. But if I want to pose him, like, this and have the gun like kind of go out, like, ew, what? Like, that just looks so unnatural. And then, like, if I want to kind of like pivot it out more to like be like he's holding it out like this, like pretend I'm holding it and like he's going like that, like, what is that? It looks, I can't look past that. So I can't pose him like this, because why is his wrist extended? Like, that just looks so hideous. So I just kind of go like this to hide it. So yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of that. McFarlane tends to do that with their ankle joints and wrist joints. But no, other than that, it's cool. But you know, definitely a solid Batman figure. I'm happy to have this one for sure. Alright, moving on, we have Nightwing, one of my favorite DC characters, of course. So I actually did own the Gotham Knights version of Nightwing before I got this one, but that one just doesn't do it for me. So I said, you know what, if I'm gonna kind of redo my Justice League DC collection, I said, let me get a different Nightwing, because I just don't like that one. There's also the Titans Nightwing, but the one thing about that one is that he does not come with his Eskrima sticks, which is insane to me. How are you going to have a character like Nightwing and not give him his actual main accessory and weapon? Like, that's insane. So that's another thing right there. Like I was saying earlier, McFarlane used to be so chintzy with their accessories. They're definitely getting better, but yeah, that's something to be kind of wary of. I am a fan of the blue on Nightwing. I'm not really a fan of the red as much. And I feel like we haven't gotten that many, like, figures of Nightwing looking like that. So hopefully we'll get more, like, an updated one of this, because this is really old. This is actually from that, like, Batmobile build a figure thing that they were trying to do back in, like, 2020 or 2021. This one's really old. But we haven't gotten, like, a good Nightwing, I feel like. Like, a classic-looking Nightwing, other than that Titans one, but I'm not going to get that one if he doesn't come with his accessories. So I like the head. It's pretty cool. And, yeah, the logo looks pretty nice. Here's the back again. He also suffers, though, from the diaper, as you can see. But other than that, I like him. I'm sure that he'll kind of be, like, behind Batman in my setup, so it'll kind of cover the diaper. But yes, that is Nightwing. Okay, last but not least for McFarlane, we do have the Wonder Woman figure, which, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely paid a little bit of money for her because she is very hard to get. Very nice looking figure. I'm glad Todd McFarlane finally decided to drop Wonder Woman, like classic Wonder Woman. Hopefully now we know to make more figures like this in the future. I really want Black Canary. That'd be great to have. Zatanna would be great. There's plenty of girl figures that we need in the line for sure. But this one's really nice. Come on, look at that costume. They did a great job with that. The costume actually looks like real from here. The shield looks great. The sword looks great. Oops. You also get the like battle axe, and you get plenty of hands. You actually get you get 3 sets of hands, so 6 total, which is nice to see. Sorry, I'm just putting the shield on that fell off. And then of course, which I love, you get the lasso, and I definitely don't have that on there, right? So just ignore that, but it's definitely nice to have that. It's cool that they did, not like cloth, what would you call this material? Well, just not hard plastic, you know what I'm trying to say. That's nice to see. Head is definitely nice. One thing about her though, oh boy, we keep losing the shield. I'm just gonna leave that off for now. One thing about the figure is she's definitely really tall. Let's just pop it right there. Yeah, she's actually taller than him. Let's get Batman in there too, just to compare it. Alright, I'm gonna have to either put her in the back of my display or put them on like risers or something, because she's way too tall. Like the leg, I think the legs is just kind of what did it. Like they didn't need to make her legs that long, but it's alright. You know what, I'm not gonna complain too much. It's a really nice looking figure, so I'll give him that. She also does have the shoulder thingies that I was talking about, just like with the Green Lantern figure, so if you move her, like, yeah, you kind of can see through it, but it's not the biggest issue, because once you get her in a pose you want, you just kind of shove it in there, and there. So, it's like a slight minor issue, but it's not the worst thing ever. Yeah, very nice figure. That's cool. I love it. Yeah, so those are all the McFarlane Toys figures. Now I feel like all I did was complain about them, but I had a lot of nice things to say too. They're definitely all good looking figures. Like I said, very nice looking. Just the articulation and like some of the like joints and stuff is kind of where they lack, and like accessories, that's kind of where they kind of get some complaints from me. So there's good aspects. They definitely stepped up their game though. As a company now, I'd give them a 7 out of 10 overall, whereas in the past I'd give them a 4, so that's saying a lot. Another recent pickup that I've got was this Spiral figure. Come on, is that not like one of the coolest looking action figures you've ever seen? Because in my opinion it is. So I actually try not to collect too far out of like X-Men. Like, don't get me wrong, X-Men is definitely like currently like one of my favorite pieces in like Marvel right now, but there's so many characters I have to kind of limit myself and just say that I can't have everyone. This figure though, I needed, like, I've never seen a figure cooler than this. I actually don't really want to mess with the pose too much because I actually am obsessed with the way I have her holding all the swords and stuff, so I'm not gonna like articulate it or anything, but just take a look at it. Come on, all the swords, all the arms. Like, Hasbro definitely has never done arms right until this figure, because you guys have seen that 6-arm Spider-Man. That one is terrifying, and this just looks so good. All the swords, all the accessories, very great figure. I'm super happy to have this one. Alright, and other than that, I got this Ant-Man figure. I just don't really want to take him down because I already have him in the display. My Avengers setup is pretty much complete. I would like that Giant Man and Wasp 2-pack that was the Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I still do have this Wasp sitting in packaging that I have yet to open because I'm hoping to kind of get that 2-pack and replace her. But for now, I did get the Ant-Man, so that's nice to have. That is pretty cool. I'm trying to think of other recent pickups I've gotten. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I've ever showed the Superior Spider-Man. I don't think he was in my last collection tour video. So yes, I finally got him, and he took a while to come to me. I don't know why. So now my Spider-Verse display just looks even cooler than it did before. I have these Avatar figures. I don't have them in the best poses in like spot right now, but I did get this. It actually came in a 4-pack. The Sokka figure was a separate release. But I got this really cool 4-pack of the Avatar figures, so if anyone wants to see a review of that, let me know, because the box that comes in is super sick and has plenty of accessories that I love. So, that's awesome. That's a SpongeBob figure from when I was younger. Alright, so I think I showed everything off. So, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad to be back to YouTube. Sorry for the long break. I won't be gone for that long again. I plan on making a bunch more videos, actually. I have plenty of ideas. If there are any requests or recommendations or like any ideas you guys have or anything you'd like to see, definitely drop it in the comments. But for now, one thing that I did just get, and I'll show it here, is this. So let me know if you'd like an in-depth review about that because I think it looks pretty cool. So, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. This has been More Than Plastic. I'll see you in the next one.